With Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, one thing that you cannot accuse Nintendo of is not finding inventive ways to explore all of the hardware capabilities of this new generation console. The game takes you to this gigantic museum of a Nintendo Switch 2, giving your tiny ant-like avatar all of the different parts of the new console to explore and learn about, starting from the left Joy-Con 2, skating across the slick touchscreen of the Switch 2 itself, and then even descending down into the inner electronics. Nintendo illustrates what makes their console tick in a bunch of different ways. Every feature here is being explored in minute detail, whether it's a new concept or something that's also pretty common to the original Nintendo Switch and just smartphones and tablets in general. So you have the gyroscope within the body of the Nintendo Switch 2 tablet, and with the now fully adjustable kickstand, which was adapted from the Switch OLED to the Switch 2, that combines for a minigame where you set out the angles as precisely as possible. And it turns out I'm pretty damn good at knowing what a 30 degree, 45 degree, or other angles look like. Alternatively, there is the very common feature of a touchscreen, and this everybody knows. You can stab at it with multiple fingers and thumbs and just do so many things on the screen. What Nintendo has cooked up here is a game of Twister for your fingers, where you have to try and put all 10 of the digits on your hands on the screen with a randomized color assignment. And it is rather tricky to manage to wrangle all of your fingers into the assigned positions. Then there's just straight up demos of things like HDR, pushing the maximum brightness of modern TVs in a light show, or the 120Hz refresh rates, or of HD rumble and how it can replicate different feelings as you wave the Joy-Con 2 around in your hand. Every facet of the console hardware is also detailed in informative pop-ups that, yes, you will be completing a quiz on. Did you know, for example, that the Switch 2's built-in speakers are actually the same modules as found in the Switch OLED, but a mixture of tweaks to how they're installed in the system and software wizardry should make them sound so much better. Welcome Tour is in general just an experience that taps into a very particular type of curiosity, sating that desire to know how things have been put together and what those features allow you to do, and that will speak to a very particular kind of person. If that concept is enough to get you through the door, then there's the allure of the high score chases to keep you coming back, of earning medals to open up different minigame variants and test yourselves against those as well. There's just a playfulness to even the simplest of ideas, such as when you play a level from Super Mario Bros. In 4K, but this isn't blown up to fill up the full screen. No, you're actually playing with the pixels at 1:1 scale, and you'll see just how that entire level could fit onto a full 4K screen with room to spare. As you would expect, dropping down through a pipe to a sub-level does exactly what you'd want it to, and it slots that screen down below the main stage. It's simple, but it's just so joyful to see this represented in this fashion. And yet through all of this, there is just that inescapable feeling that this could maybe have just been a pack-in title. It is obviously Nintendo's choice and their right to decide what to charge for this kind of experience, but this feels much more like an educational tool. It's something that parents can play through with their kids to learn about technology, making it clear that games consoles and phones aren't filled with magical fairy dust, but have a different kind of magic making them work. And when there's an £8 or a $10 price tag on that, I fear that it's going to lose out to the immediacy of Mario Kart World or the countless other games that will come out in the months and years that follow. So, all in all, it feels like Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour probably won't be an essential purchase for the Switch 2's launch, but it does still have that glimmer of Nintendo magic that could be well worth exploring, and there's the capacity for this to surprise us as we explore later areas and experiences. We look forward to playing more in the next few days, as we are literally just 2 days away from the console and this game's release as we are publishing this preview. If you want to see how this is shaping up and if you should put down a few quid to pick up the Welcome Tour, make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell icon to get notifications, and we will hopefully see you again soon. Goodbye!